Okay, so welcome back everyone to another weekly seminar of Bullows Paint Shop Tales. In today's seminar, we are going to cover an interesting topic, which is Bullows Pressure Feed Tank, but with a slight modification of heating jacket assembly, which is useful for various target industries. And this is a unique customized product from Bullows product lineup that we are going to cover today in today's seminar. In today's modern manufacturing and industrial coating applications, temperature control is no longer a luxury. It's a useful necessary. Whether you are working with high viscosity fluids or different types of paints, there may be temperature sensitive adhesive or even food items in food industry, or it can be different complex composite material coating as well. So maintaining optimal material temperature directly impacts the product quality, its application uniformity, its finish, as well as the savings of the coating, as well as saving in the operation cost. So that's why for this particular industry, in Bullows, we have engineered a solution, which is the pressure feed tank with integrated heating jacket assembly. So let's just get into it. Now, many of you maybe have an idea about what is a pressure feed container. And this customized container works on the same principle of a standard PFT with the added advantage of a thermal control. This thermal control is provided in two ways. The heating element is actually an electric coil which is wound up around the tank core from the outside. It also has insulation material surrounding it, as well as a metal jacket on the external side, which provides insulation and also helps in not heat dissipation to the outside element. Now, when the current is applied, the coil heats up, which in turn heats up the pressurized tank. And this heat up increases the temperature inside the tank. And using a PLC pneumatic control panel, we can have a set temperature inside the tank based on the liquid inside the tank. But the working principle, which is pressurized dispensing, works the same. There is no change in the dispensing operation process of the tank. So this is a unique solution combining both the aspects of a pressurized dispensing as well as heating elements attached to it. Now, why actually is temperature control matters in today's day and age? So as I have said, there are various types of coatings in today's world, wherein they have viscosity which is variable across different temperature ranges. And for the optimal dispensing and spraying, they require the solution to be set at a particular temperature. And that's why this heating jacket assembly or any other process for keeping the solution at a constant predefined rate is used. Now, what are the advantages of an heating jacket assembly? The first and primary advantage is the viscosity reduction. As you know, if the solution viscosity is too high, then there's a high chance that the system will get choke up in the pump system or the hose system or even the spray gun system. Whereas when you increase the temperature, the viscosity reduces, which causes easy flow of the fluid. And thus there is no problem of choking up the system. As well as when you reduce the viscosity of the fluid, the atomization efficiency also increases. The next part is advantage is the consistent flow and spray pattern. When you have a uniform flow of the fluid, you can make sure that there's also little to less fluctuation in the system, as well as proper spray to the dispensing end of the system. Now, when we're talking about adhesives, then the adhesive part performance directly increases when the viscosity is less, as well as when the temperature is high up, the adhesive also doesn't dry up quickly, which is a major criteria in various industries like the paper bag industry, wherein they have to maintain the adhesive at a particular temperature. When the viscosity is low, the atomization increases, and there's also nice uniform flow of the adhesive. On the it can be a wood, or can be paper, or can be even cardboard. The next step, which also many might not consider, is the time reduction. Because as you can imagine, when the flowing and dispensing process is happening, then there's a lot of time which is spent during maintenance as well as during production. So the fewer you have, the operator has to put his time into cleaning the system, as well as during production if there are any irregularities due to choking up the system. This time reduction is beneficial to the operator as well as the entire production line. Now, there's also a fail-safe operation in the heating jacket assembly. As I said, this is a PLC control system, because of which if the temperature gets slightly high than what we have primarily set, the heating coil assembly is directly cut off from power, which starts to reduce the system. So there's a fail-safe switch operation, which is integrated into every Bullows pressure feed tank. Now, before we go into the industry applications, let me tell you how the system actually works. Now, like I said, it is a standard operating system of a pressure feed tank, wherein the first step is material loading. So we unpressurize the tank, open the clamps, and fill the tank with the solution. Then after we clamp up, tighten the clamps, and the next step is applying air pressure. Now, the standard operating air pressure for the tank is around 2 to 3 bars, but can be even higher for different types of liquids. Then if it was a normal pressurized tank, then you would just start using the tank for dispensing. But in the heating jacket assembly, the next step you have to do is start the heating process, which is controlled by a PLC. The PLC can be placed nearby the operator for easy turning on and turning off. We also have safety monitoring system inbuilt into the PLC as well as the tank using various gauges. So the operator can directly set whatever pressure as well as temperature he wants to set in the system. In the tank, we also have an accessory which is required in many cases, and that accessory is the pneumatic stirrer. We have two types of pneumatic stirrers. One is a 360-degree rotation motor, and one is 180-degree oscillation motion motor. So both can be integrated into the system, and these stirrers have the added advantage of continuously stirring the solution inside the tank, which provides two things. One is that it maintains the viscosity of the liquid inside the tank, as well as the heat which is applied to the tank is also uniformly provided to the solution because of continuous stirring. And once all the 5 points are cleared up, then the last step is to open the outlet valve, and you can just start the system. So the dispensing starts from the tank to from hoses to the spray gun or the dispensing system. Now there are various industries which are primary targets and have a huge requirement of such kind of pressurized tank systems with heating jacket assembly. Now we'll go one by one from it. Any of these industries you might have heard or even known to be using such. The first one is the FRP composite gel coating application. If many of you have attended our last week's session, then you might remember the entire session was about Bullows products, including spray gun and tanks for FRP composite, where it was a deep dive into that industry. But to cover the basic aspects in today's form, in short, the FRP is a plastic component which has added advantage wherein strength is increased into the component by adding fiberglass or other fibers like Kevlar or aramid fibers integrated into the plastic. This not only increases the strength but also durability as well as lifespan of the material. And the auto industry is a huge market for using FRP composites. And for these FRP composites, in the manufacturing process, when you apply the glass fibers to the plastic, a gel coating solution is used, which is used for binding both the materials. And this gel coating, there are multiple variants, and most of them have to be kept and used at a particular set temperature. I have created a table below which we can look around later, which has all the technical specification mentioned. So for this particular application, the heating jacket assembly PFT works fine. Like I said, it's also mentioned that using this gel coating at a particular set temperature avoids the fiber pattern to be rough and disproportionate. If the temperature is not properly controlled, then there is a high possibility that during the curing process, the component might totally fail or might get brittle or fragile, which is not, which is what we don't want. Now, the next industry, like many of you may know, is the food industry. In food industry, there are multiple food solutions and items which are dispensed. And as you can imagine, due to most of these solutions being highly viscous, when they are kept at a higher temperature than room temperature and dispensed, then there is no choke up in the line as well as easy laminar flow in the system. Now, at Bullows, we have provided a similar tank solution for industries which include edible oil. There's also liquid chocolate spraying during mass bakery item production, wherein liquid chocolate was sprayed onto the bread as a filling. And as you know that on room temperature, the chocolate is solid. So to keep it at a liquid temperature, it was kept in a pressurized tank and heating was provided at a set temperature. And from that, the liquid chocolate was dispensed and sprayed using Bullows automatic gun into the line. The similar application was also used for the peanut butter application, wherein it was also used as a stuffing in a bakery item. And as you have known, many of you have eaten peanut butter. It is actually highly thick and viscous and is practically impossible to use and dispense through piping at normal temperature. So this has to be specifically kept at a high temperature so it can be easily dispensed. So in food industry, there are also primarily other things as well, but the peanut butter, chocolate, as well as edible oil dispensing, these are like the primary big focuses where these PFTs are used. The next industry is epoxy coatings industry. Now there are many types of epoxy coatings which are highly viscous, and just like the food industry, they are required set by the manufacturer themselves at a particular temperature, and then and only then they can be used for dispensing and spraying. At normal temperature, they are also unable to use the system. So for epoxy coatings, it's a must for them. Now, just like epoxy systems, there's a special grade of primers, which are primer paint, which is used in the auto as well as aerospace industry. So this special type of primers, unlike others which we have used, are required to be set at a higher temperature so that it provides uniform flow and good surface adhesion to the component. And for this particular primers, since they have a special characteristic formula, they are required to be used using pressure feed tanks or other dispensing systems which are kept at with a heating jacket assembly. Now the next is actually anti-corrosion coatings. As you know, there are multiple types of anti-corrosion coatings, but the one primarily used in ship industry or some marine applications are specially designed since they are highly effective on ships, as ships are always in contact with seawater. So these are slightly advanced type of anti-corrosion coatings compared to what we see used on our metal roofs for industrial application or in everyday industry which we see here. So for these particular coatings, they are also highly viscous and are difficult to spray using normal spray guns when in the room temperature. So these are also in big shipyards. They are also using big pressure feed containers with also heating assembly attached to them, so that at a particular set temperature, the viscosity reduces, and then they are easily able to spray the anti-rust coating on the ship's hull or internal components. And there's also one of the industry, last but not least, the adhesive as well as chemical dispensing. We have also covered one of our seminars a few weeks back, which was totally dedicated to our adhesive dispensing solutions using both the spray gun as well as tank systems, which was used in paper bag making industry as well as other industries. So just like that, in industries where the glue is required to be kept at a high temperature, for primarily in paper bag as well as in footwear shoe industry. The glue, if it is used at a normal temperature, then there is improper adhesion and improper stickiness to it. So that's why they are kept at a set temperature higher than room. This also increases their bonding strength and reliability, so that the sole doesn't remove again after it has been sticked to the base of the shoe. Now the pressure feed tank which we have in our product lineup, it has various components and features. We'll just go through them one by one. The first one is the air regulator, which is a standard on every pressure feed tank at Bullows. It is used to measure the air pressure of the current tank system, and you can increase or reduce it based on your application. Sorry, the pressure gauge is used for that. The air regulator is used to increase or decrease the airflow into the system, and you can manually change the inside pressure of the tank using the air regulator. The gauges are there to check the pressure as well as start and stop the system. There's also a safety release valve which is integrated into every tank. So basically, every tank has a set temperature, set pressure, after which there is a safety release valve which will be open to reduce all the extra pressure. Now that is done specifically designed so that there's if the pressure for some reason goes beyond the set limit of the tank, then there's a high chance that the tank will not be able to hold the pressure inside, and there's a chance that it can get damaged or there might be harm to other people around the tank if it breaks up or there's a air leakage at high pressure. So to avoid this, there's a safety release valve which opens up after the if the pressure crosses the set amount. Now this what now the pressure at which the safety release valve get opened is customized by Bullows based on customer requirements. So for different applications, we can adjust at which pressure the release valve gets opened. There's also a fluid cutoff ball valve, which is mounted at the top of the tank. So from there, the actual dispensing can be start and stop for emergency purpose. If there's some issue in the line and there's need to be a reason to cut off the dispensing, so you can just go through there. No need to start and stop the pressure. So you can directly cut off there for emergency purpose. And like I said above, there's also stirrers, pneumatic stirrers. Two types of models are available with us. Both are pneumatic operated for safety reasons primarily. And if you don't want the pneumatic stirrer, there's a standard manual stirrer as well integrated into the tank. So if there's no such need for some solutions where continuous stirrer or agitation is required, then you can use the manual stirrer by the operator. But if there are certain adhesives or some, say, gel coats or another thing where continuous stirring is required for uniform heat flow, then you can go with either of the air motors. Now, our Bullows pressure feed tanks are available in primarily four standard configuration capacities, which is 9 liter, 22 liter, 45 liter, and 60 liters. But the above 60 liters, we also have a customized size of tanks, wherein it can go even up to 200 liters of customized tank. And we can provide both of all of them with heating jacket assembly. So based upon your production, wherein if it is a large scale production and you don't want to refill it, the tank, then you can opt for a high capacity tank. And similarly, if you have a small production scenario, then you can opt for a small 9 liter tank, wherein you won't have to deal with the bulk of the bigger tanks. Now, just like the capacity, there's also two material constructions available with us. One is the standard MS mild steel, and the second is SS stainless steel. Now, many of the applications, like I said, especially in the food grade industry, there's compliance that only a special grade of SS steel is required for handling fluid items, like I said, the oil or liquid butter or chocolate or other things. And for that, we provide special SS food grade SS tanks in that particular application. And for other, wherein if the chemical is slight corrosive and or some highly concentrated solution, even in that case, SS tanks are preferable. But most of all, in most of the cases, an MS tank also works perfectly fine. If you have any doubt about which chemicals to use and which tank would be more suitable, then you can just share the technical data sheet with us, and technical team will just sort it out and suggest you which MS or SS tank will be most preferable for your particular application. Now, all these tanks in all these capacities as well as MOC are applicable and accommodate all the three types of coatings, which are low viscosity coatings. Say there's some thin water-based adhesives or there's gel coat. It also covers up medium viscosity coatings. So we also have liquid wax. There's some industrial types of paints, epoxies, as well as some food items, and even some highly viscous coatings. Like I said, particularly some highly viscous adhesives or some anti-rust coatings which are temperature constrained. In that particular scenario, all of these tanks in all the capacities will work perfectly fine without any issue. Now, what would be a case scenario wherein if you have a standard tank and you also have a pressurized standard tank, but with a heating jacket assembly? So the primary difference is that in normal tanks, the temperature will decrease as the spraying continues. So for example, you say that you heat up the liquid primarily beforehand and then you put it in the tank. But the issue is that as the heat dissipates, it will lose the heat, and later on the temperature will go back to the normal room temperature and the viscosity will also change. This thing will not happen in the heating jacket tank. Second is the spray pattern, which also be inconsistent because, like I said, the viscosity will change. Wherein in the customized tank, there would be a uniform flow and coverage from start to the end till the liquid is finished in the tank. Next is if the viscosity is too high, like in some adhesive applications, then the standard tank will just straight up not work at all. And because it will just choke up the system and it will get stuck in the tank as well as in the hoses. The heating jacket assembly solves this issue as the adhesive or the solution will be kept at a set temperature set up by the manufacturer of the adhesive. So there is no need for stuck up or choke up in the system. The next step is the operator intervention. Normal tanks, the operator has to keep an eye in the system. If it gets choked up, he has to open the tank again, clean up, and there's also time lost in that. Whereas in jacket assembly system, there's just minimal intervention once the system is been started and the heating temperature has been set, and it when the tank achieves the set temperature, it will keep the temperature at a steady, say if the temperature is kept at 45 degrees. So the tank will keep the solution inside the tank at set 45 degrees till the low level. There's also one of the accessories which is low level sensor. So when it detects that the sensor that the solution has reached a level, say below 10% or something, then it will automatically cut off the system. And so the operator knows that it's time for refilling. Now, due to inconsistent material properties of various these solution applications, there's also high defect rate and a non-uniform flow when using standard pressurized tank. Now, this due to great consistency, the defect rate will drop significantly if one goes to switch with a heating jacket assembly. There's also time saving using heating jacket assembly compared to standard tanks. Now we also have a video of one of our tank system which we had provided. This one was particularly for adhesive dispensing application. So we'll just have a look at it. Okay, just 1 second. Okay, I will show the video one later on. This is the technical application as well as the recommended product chart which we have here. All the different applications which we mentioned above, from FRP composites to some industrial coatings, adhesives, as well as other chemicals, and what the particular application was for anti-rust coating, top heat-sensitive paints, or specialty sealants. So we have this mentioned here. The advantages of using that particular tank. We also have set sizes here based on our past experience about which capacity would be more suited. Obviously, based on your particular application, it can be variable, and we can go with whatever size tank you require. And there's the standard temperature range at which the tanks are required to be operated for those particular solutions. The Bullows tank is rated for a max of around 60 degrees Celsius for standard operating procedures, and most of the composites here required fall well within the 60 limit range. So the tank is perfectly fine and functional, no matter the application. So let's just have a look at the video. So that was the video of the above tank. In that particular tank, there was slight modification, like the pneumatic, the motor used was actually an electric type of a motor. So that was a specific input from the customer end to have an electric motor. So that's why we had those. So this video, as well as all of our other application videos, are also available on our Bullows YouTube channel. So you can just have a look at it and find the application videos, whatever the application. We have the video for that as well. So you can just have a look around it later on. So from this video, we have seen that the pressure feed tanks with heating jacket assembly. So it's represent a huge shift in today's industrial coating and adhesive application. More and more industry applications are having their own specialized particular needs, wherein a normal standard product doesn't fit their requirements, and they always require a customized solution. And that's where this type, wherein a temperature controlled fluid dispensing is required. So this particular tank with the heating jacket works perfectly same. Our tanks provide four primary advantages. One is the product quality, the tank quality, as well as the output finish quality of the dispensing and spraying would greatly improve from switching from a normal tank to Bullows tank. There's also an operational efficiency increase because now there is less material wastage as well as reduced time. So there's also time saving constraint from the operator end. Now, as the tanks are made from durable materials like MS as well as especially the SS ones, the tanks as well as the heating jacket is designed in such a way that it requires little to no maintenance apart from a yearly checkup from Bullows technician. So as long as the equipment is used within the manufacturer provided constraints and the service maintenance is provided regularly, it's an exceptionally tank with a long longevity and also provides a great ROI return to the company. And last but not least is the cost saving, which is like based on the tank configuration you go around. The typical payback is around 3 to 8 months based on your application usage. Like I said, it's a simple type of mechanism system wherein there's not too much high-end technicals attached to it. That's why the simpler the operation, the longer the use case, and that's why quick ROI to the consumer. So along with the tanks, if you have any specific application, so apart even from these particular solutions, if you have a requirement for a tank where you need the solution to be kept at a set temperature and it needs to be continuous agitation, even if the solution is highly viscous or it might be slight corrosive or there might be some other parameters as well. Then you can just look up with Bullows tank in your system and it would be greatly helpful to you. Along with the tank, since we are OEM, we will also help with installation support. Our engineers will come at your end and provide thorough and clean installation of the product. We will also integrate into your system if required, as well as provide proper training to the operator so that not only just operating but also service and maintenance procedure will also be explained thoroughly by our engineers. So there's no issue at the consumer end. Along with this, we also provide online and offline technical assistance for normal troubleshooting as well as maintenance for these tanks, guns, and other all bonus equipment all year round 24/7. And as the production in your facility grows and there's a thing for improvement or increase in production or modification or revamping, All of these aspects are covered by Bullows. So if any of the things are in requirement, then you can connect with us and we would be sure to help. And so that's it for today's video. Hope you people have a good idea and got some knowledge about this particular application of a heating jacket assembly. It's an ever-growing industry, and more and more companies have been coming up with this customized solution needs, and Bolus is here to provide it for it. So, if you find this video helpful and if you think that your setup might be fruitful by having a Bolus tank with this heating system or other Bolus products like pneumatic motors, standard pressure feed tanks, automatic manual guns, or even industrial scale painting booth and curing oven, then you can be sure to just give us a call. The contact details are in our video description, and we can just assist you on the call or even plan an engineer visit at your end. Pan India, there's not an issue, or even outside of India, will be there to help you for your painting solution needs. So that's it. And like I said, this video will also be, along with all other videos, are available on our Bolus YouTube channel. For whenever you have any painting, coating requirement techniques or other application videos you might want to look around. So you can just have a look at the YouTube channel. The link is also in the video description. So hope that helps, and we'll see you again later on in next week seminar with another interesting topic to cover around. So thank you.